All right, and here at the 3 o'clock position on Metropolis, we have our purple Zerg player from the team Karont3 Esports Club. It is a Vortex. And his opponent's up 1-0 at this point from the team Quantic. It's the Quantic.Apocalypse.
That's right. Quantic.Apoc, as his name says. Didn't know he could shorten it to QXG, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I tried to fit QXG.Apocalypse on here up at the top initially. It was a little too long. So
just Q.Apocalypse.
Yep, just Q.
Yeah, that works. Good game / good luck / have fun. You may pick one, but not two.
That's true.
Which would you pick?
Oh, luck.
Good luck?
I'd rather not have fun and win the game.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I would rather have fun.
Really?
Yeah.
And lose the game?
Well, it depends. If it's a tournament situation, obviously I'd rather win.
Yes.
But if I'm on ladder, I don't really care if I win or lose. I just want to like have fun.
Yeah,
So
I suppose that's true. But I guess if you're Nerchio being annoyed to death by Polt,
that's true.
then
That was insane. I can't. Oh, and it bugs me. I can't remember what tournament that was earlier today. But yeah, Polt annoyed Nerchio to death, like literally. It was amazing. Keldor casted that. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And it looks like nothing out of the ordinary for either player. No cheeses to report, sir.
Nope, just waiting.
All's well.
Thank you. All quiet on the Western Front. Just
Yep.
waiting for gas at this point from the Quantic.Apocalypse. And no, he's going to bypass that. This is a bigger walk distance map, so a little bit easier to pull off a 1-Rax gasless fast expand into reactored Hellions if that's the way you want to go. Of course, Apocalypse threw a interesting look at us last time. And it's a good thing he decided to go for a lot earlier Banshee play, because he had 3 cloaked Banshees out by the time that his opponent struck with the Roach Baneling all in, and was able to actually deflect it. Really, honestly, what saved him?
It was kind of what you would call a build order win to a certain extent. So those games don't really necessarily let you get a good sort of sense of a player's skill too much, but they generally are pretty entertaining in how close they are.
And let's see now as what Vortex is going to choose to do. He's not taken his gas quite yet. Just sitting on that spawning pool for now and trying to accumulate as many minerals as is humanly possible. And it is actually kind of a curious lack of gas for now. So not prioritizing Zergling speed at all during the process.
Yeah, I think what we're going to see is, I mean, the spawning pool isn't up, so we can't say for sure, but the 4-Queen build has been extremely popular on this map. We saw Infinity 7's Crazy Moving do it yesterday.
That's right.
It's really good. I mean, you can use 2 queens then to spread creep and defend against Hellions and not have to move your queens that are spawning larvae on your hatcheries. So it's just a really good all-around, really solid, stable way. And I think that the 3-hatch build that a lot of Zerg players are doing against Protoss right now, that goes for so long without gas, is really kind of causing Zergs to think, you know, hey, in other matchups, how can I take advantage of not having gas for a longer time? And the 4-Queen build, while it's been around for a while, is certainly one of those things, I think.
And as we can see, already a little bit of map control being taken by the Quantic.Apocalypse. He did double gas, so we can save up for that factory nice and early. There it is. And we'll see if he has a similar approach in Game 1 where he decides to wait and not put down a reactor. There's the 50, and there's a reactor. So a little bit more conventional build this go-round.
Yep. But will he be like the Muslim yesterday and maybe go for Cloak Banshees after Hellions? We could still see it, but you know, like you said, I think we're probably going to see something a little bit more normal this time around. And it will be the 4-Queen build actually from Vortex. It looks like he's got 2 out, I believe, right now.
Yes,
and 2 more on the way. Yep. And has not yet taken his 2 gas. So there's a lot of ways you can go from here. If you're Vortex, you can get 3 gas and go for roaches and things like that. Try to take a 3rd and go for Broodlords. You can go 4 gas really quickly and go for really fast mutas like Crazy Movement saw. That's a bit of a crazy thing to do, but what
this is another
world?
We've seen this exact build out of the Quantic.Apocalypse before.
But it's always surprising.
Yes, this is because he showed flashes of that with the double armories, if we remember, in the last game before he put down any subsequent factories. Yes, he does, and it makes a big difference because if you're staring down with 3-3 buy or 3-3 mech versus an opponent who's only sitting on 1-1 at a 1-1 going to 2-2 kind of a thing, you have a massive advantage if you're able to sit back and defend until that time.
Absolutely.
And it plays really well into the style of Apocalypse, which is that incredibly strong mid-game because you can take advantage of those early upgrade timings as well.
Yeah, now there were 4 gases taken for Vortex too, so he could be going for a relatively quick Mutalisk too, but there's the Evo Chambers, so 2 Evo Chambers in fact in the layer, so I think we're going to see more of a standard Ling Infestor style, so We'll have to see, but his upgrades are going to be a little bit behind. You know, if he does get his upgrades immediately after the Evo Chambers finish, he won't be that far behind, but he's still got a potential to have a very weak army compared to Apocalypse a little bit later in the game.
That's definitely true, and Hellions, unfortunately, not going to be able to get anything else done, not able to really scout in and pick up anything as well. And as we can see, yeah, there's that 4-queen builds, and the immense amount of creep spread has already started. There's so many active creep tumors up at the front. Looks like Vortex is planning on taking a pretty quick third base as well, as he does invest in those 1-1 upgrades right away.
Yeah, you need a quick third base with this type of build. You need it because you need a lot of gas. That's the main point, right? You're getting double upgrades, you're getting infestors, you're making roaches a lot of times with this as well. In this case, it's going to be banelings, you know, another gas unit. So you need that 6 gases as fast as you can possibly take it.
And it looks like one of those queens actually got pretty low. The Hellions being pretty aggressive here, but it's working out all right for Quantic.Apocalypse. Could scan again if he wants to, but that would be a pretty significant use of resources at this time. But he does pick up on the third base.
Yep, he knows right away. Shouldn't surprise him too much. There's a Spire already. So, yeah, we could actually still see mutas out of this because there is no infestation pit. Interesting. So, yeah, this will be just a heavy Ling Baneling muta style, it looks like. And that it was with the caveat that he could still throw an infestation pit down and go for a very, very fast hive. But we'll see. I think mutas are good on this map. Excuse me, on this map. I'm a big fan of mutalisk play.
Yeah. On this map, yeah, it works really well. There's so much open space around the sides, and the one disadvantage that mutas have on this map is that there's a lot of room behind the mineral patches in the main, so you can maneuver a lot of turrets and Marines back there. Oh, it looks like most of the Hellions do get surrounded, and a bunch of Zerglings are going to die, but certainly worth killing that many Hellions there. Very well done by Vortex.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not just killing Hellions, you're killing Apocalypse's map control with that too. Man, he's in the dark now. He has no idea what's going on outside of his base unless he scans, and he's not going to have that for a long time because he's past the phase in the game where he's really making Hellions, right? He's got his reactor and his starport now, so he has essentially lost quite a bit of map control. He's going to be forced to play a little bit more defensive now, wait for his timing that he's looking for, which I think is going to be around 2-2.
Yeah.
And try to defend against these mutas that are coming out for Vortex.
That's right. We already have our first 7 on the way. Is he out of larva at the moment? No. Could put up a few more. There we go. Finally putting down an additional 10.
Inject, Queen.
An additional 3. Yes. Well done. Your mechanics are acceptable. And he's not invested
pretty good.
in +1 quite yet.
That Queen needs to inject, man.
Yeah, that's
got
a sad
the energy.
sight.
She just doesn't have the will.
Yes.
She's
got the power.
She's got the touch.
She's got the power.
Oh, you were singing a different song. I was going. You were. Who did that song you were going for?
I was doing the.
Tina
I got
Turner?
the power.
Is that? I don't know who that is. I have no idea. I just totally embarrassed myself by saying that was Tina Turner. I was thinking the song that gives "You've Got the Touch, You've Got the Power," yeah, from the Transformers movie in 1986.
Ah, that's
the animated Transformers movie.
You've got me. I was not aware of that. I apologize.
A little glimpse into the mind of Doa there.
Okay, 2 things going on at once. We have a drop with Stim intact, so we'll see how many Zerglings actually go down. Banelings being sent in to take this out, but at the same time, mutas are really running through Apocalypse's main.
Yep, the Marines come to defend here, so they will be chased off, but that's a lot of mining time lost for Apocalypse. Did any of the Marines really get saved there? I don't know if he picked any up in those medevacs.
I don't think so as well. No, he did not.
He didn't. Wow, distracted by the SCV pulling in the main, and he didn't save any of those Marines. That hurts a little bit.
Yes, it does, and as we can see, not a lot of workers killed for either player, but there is a massive worker advantage right now for Vortex, and he's going to be able to pick off these medevacs.
Yep, and at this point, I think this is a good situation to just kind of continue making a lot of mutalisks. I mean, a lot of times, players will usually try to go more Baneling heavy, just because that's a safer way to go, but in this case, I think we are going to actually see a lot of mutalisks come out from Vortex.
Oh, very nice job. And he nabs the other medevac that was off to the left-hand side and runs away with his mutalisks. And at the same time, he's denying this third for quite a long period of time because that it's going to take a while before that creep to recede. So it actually forces a Stim out of those Marines to be able to clean up the Overlord as well. So at this stage in the game, Vortex, that creep spread. Look at that.
Good.
That's really well done. He's moving to his 4th base. His upgrades are really coming along as well.
Now, here's the thing. Speaking of those upgrades, yeah, he's got +2 melee on the way and +1 flyer attack, but 3-3 is getting to be almost halfway done now for Quantic.Apocalypse. That is going to make an enormous difference. Those mutas are going to be absolutely shredded if they come anywhere near those Marines. So Vortex is going to need to be very careful about engaging this.
Now, there are no tanks on the field whatsoever. In fact, just one Thor, and he's continuing to add those on. So splash damage is really not going to be there against the ground units. It's going to require immaculate control by the Marines.
Yep, and Zergling blocking the command center yet again. More annoyance for Apocalypse to have to deal with. And this is actually very, very similar to what we saw Crazy Move do yesterday, only the muta count was even higher for him. He was up like 30 mutas at one point.
All right.
Crazy.
Well, looks like Vortex wants to strike. Hive Tech and Pathogen Glands on the way. Is the spreading good enough for Apocalypse? He's moving back with a lot of his units, but is still taking some pretty significant Baneling hits there. Looks like they take out a massive amount of SCVs. As we can see, 16 workers have been killed. The command center goes down as well. A huge advantage now for Vortex.
And a drop going down at the 12 o'clock base right now, but it's at a base that not a lot is going on at, so it's not going to hurt Vortex all that much. He is going to come home to try to defend it. He doesn't really want to lose his 4th hatchery quite yet. That drone getting to the party a little bit early. But overall, yeah, I mean, killing that command center, killing the army there, killing the SCVs there, that gives a huge lead. Oh, he gets it.
Barely right at the end. He will lose the medevac.
Pay.
Yes, that Marine's like, I did my job.
He did it well.
All right.
It's true. Hive on the way now for Vortex. He's going to be going into Brood Lords most likely fairly soon here. But Apocalypse way behind, 163 supply to just 114, and no third base. That's what's really going to hurt him. He needs tanks, but he really can't afford to use that many production cycles or the resources on them right now because of the mutalist count, because the mutas have been so effective so far.
And let's take a look. Does Apocalypse have another command center started? He does. It's about 2/3 of the way finished for now. He's going to run out, with a good number of units, and he is actually going to be able to get a pretty decent gauge before the Banelings start rolling in. But now that they're here, I just don't know what Apocalypse can do against the rest of the army. It looks like the Banelings very smartly not going to waste themselves. He will take a couple more Mutalisk losses, but then just crashes right through the front door.
Yeah, that is going to be basically it for the army. And Willie, oh man,
the
death.
Bye-bye.
Oh, well,
that was some pretty good death and destruction.
Yep. It looked like it was going to be really bad for a second for Apocalypse, but well, it already is still really bad for Apocalypse at this point.
Ultralisk Cavern coming up.
Yeah, going for the Ultras instead of the Greater Spire. All right, interesting.
What's the saying? When you're really far ahead as a Zerg and you just want to lose?
Then you can go Ultras. It's about it's tough to make Ultras work in an even game scenario, it seems like. But he's comfortably ahead, so he can do that.
He will lose another hatchery once again. Fortunately for him, though, that was his 5th hatchery going down rather than the 4th that it was last time. It looks like he may lose the extractors as well. No, finally going to get surrounded and cleaned up now. So bye-bye, Marines. 4th base is now up and running pretty comfortably. 3 Ultras are on the way. Do not believe that chitinous plating has been started yet, though.
Yeah, he can also make a ridiculously high amount of Zerglings as well with all the minerals he has built up. The upgrades will be quite good for them. They are 2-2 with the adrenal glands. He can go for 3-3 fairly soon here and just skip an Ultra. There's +3 attack. And he's also got a few Infestors out as well to kind of bolster his forces. Meanwhile, let's actually take a look at the unit counting station real quick here just to see the army. 1 Thor, 3 Marauders, 35 Marines, and 5 Medevacs. Bit of a smaller army right now for Apocalypse, understandably.
What I will say, though, is that if you take the 46 worker difference out of it, the army supplies are not that different. However, Vortex has a lot of things going for him. The much more well-developed economy, much greater ability to replenish the army when his goes down, and that still ridiculous creep spread, which is controlling half the map.
Yeah, the creep spread's pretty good. Apocalypse really wants that tower, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, man. He's going to, we might have the final. Oh, he's going to make some Banelings first. Yep. Almost had the final fight, but not quite.
And here comes some Marines. Going to be able to pick off a few drones here and a Queen. This is a pretty good gain for him. He probably will get the cancel on the hatchery as well. Oh, there we go. Finally, a few Zerglings starting to filter in now for Vortex, and it looks like Apocalypse is going to have to pick up and get out of there, but good damage done. Ooh. Oh! Then, unfortunately, becomes not so good as he does lose the medevac.
Yep, with the mutas still out on the field, you really can't do a whole lot of drop play and expect to get the medevacs out of there on a consistent basis. Pretty big army here for Apocalypse. But will it be big enough? Oops, some banelings getting picked off there.
Yeah, actually does a pretty good job of that. We'll see if he can take advantage of it afterwards, though. Again, still no siege tanks along with this army. Fungal's pinning down a couple of units as the banelings rolling behind. But it doesn't matter. There's the GG. Vortex takes a game back for Karont3 Esports Club and ties it up 1-1.
Yeah, Vortex did a really, really good job of denying that third base.